As last year's Faculty Laureate, I am honored to introduce this year's Laureate, Professor Cameron Craig. The Faculty Laureate is recognized for their excellence in undergraduate teaching, as well as their devotion to EIU's general education mission. Your general education classes will be instrumental in providing you the foundation you need to succeed in your educational endeavors and in life. Cameron Craig is a faculty member in the Geography department and has proven himself a consummate professor as he teaches the weather and climate classes in the department. His students also enjoy taking his climate and history, severe weather and thermodynamics, and agricultural climatology classes, and have commented on how they appreciate his integration of art, music, and documentary filmmaking into his classes to help them better understand the material. While Professor Craig has undoubtedly had a positive influence in the classroom, what is equally admirable to me is his willingness to invite students to participate in his research projects. This summer, Professor Craig, with two of his students, traveled to the Gulf Coast to produce the documentary Returning to Paradise, Voices of the Human Spirit, which depicts the effects of the offshore oil rig explosion. In addition, two of his students have been nationally recognized by the Broadcast Education Association for their research on on-air forecasting performance in their research. Foremost, Professor Craig is a passionate and dedicated teacher who strives to ensure that each of his students are able to think critically, write clearly, and become responsible citizens and adults. Please join me in welcoming Professor Craig to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Benedict, for those kind words. Welcome, President Perry, Provost Lord, faculty, staff, student President Murphy, and you, the class of 2014. Here we are, here you are, at the beginning of a new phase in your life. It is at this point where all that you know thus far will be shaped to define your true potential. It is the birth of new ideas, of new challenging questions and answers to that riddles that shape your future existence as a global citizen. EIU is your moment in time that will thrust you into new experiences and lifelong successes. For most of you, this moment is brand new, strange, and perhaps overwhelming. Most of us in front of you can remember this moment happening years ago, some dimly remembering, some vividly. I remember my moment nearly 21 years ago. Was I nervous? Sure. Was I scared? Most definitely. 10,000 thoughts raced through my mind, unsure of the future, a landscape unfamiliar and disconcerting. I had no other acquaintances or friends from high school attending the same university to dissolve those uncertainties. There was no breaking the harsh ice of the moment. I didn't feel comfortable until a week or so after orientation to open up and meet new friends. Therefore, I want to take a moment that I wished would have occurred 21 years ago. Please stand and introduce yourself to those around you. Come on, everybody, introduce yourself. Perhaps this new acquaintance could be a familiar face in your first class on Monday, or someone that lives on your dormitory floor. No matter where, you are now breaking the tense moment and may feel more relaxed. That feeling is Eastern Illinois University. You are now part of the big family that makes EIU, a family that works together to provide you as individuals the foundation of success. A framework of interactions is a philosophical idea I came up with when I started teaching here at Eastern back in 2005. It is essentially one big idea that causes one function to interact with another function until several functions build together to explain an idea. What I refer to is weather. The sun is the one big idea that causes temperature, which causes density, which causes dynamics, which causes pressure, and so on. When you put it all together, it explains weather. In other words, without the sun, there is no weather fun. For each of you, this is the big idea, Eastern. If I take the most basic component that EIU provides, it would be dedication, which leads to diversity, which leads to creativity, which leads to connecting, which leads to reflecting, which altogether, after 4 years, will make you. This is the framework of interactions that will make you. That is why you are EIU. I want to talk to you about each of these interactions that will help you understand how important Eastern is to you. Dedication, diversity, creativity, connecting, and reflecting. Dedication. There are two parts to this concept, you and us, the faculty. The faculty are dedicated to providing you an exceptional educational experience. Your future success is our priority. We are here to help you succeed in future endeavors. We are here to bring out your highest potential. The second part of this component is you. You must dedicate yourself. You must be willing to invest in your future success. We cannot do it for you. You must make the most of the next 4 years and really get involved in your future. Invest now, and the path to the future will be an easy one. Some have said, I can't. I tried this once with my grandmother Robinson when I was 7 years old. I cannot remember what I was trying to say to her that I couldn't do, but she said that there was no such word as can't. You can, she explained. Everything is possible, she continued. Just find the way that works for you to accomplish the task at hand, and it will work. I did not realize the power behind her words until I came upon an overwhelming task. It is easy to say, I can't, but in reality, she was right. You can. You can get an A in economics. You can get an A in history. You can get an A in algebra when X is nothing but a letter. You can, you can, you can. When the course seems overwhelming, don't say you can't and drop the course. You can. I always say to my students in weather and climate, don't ever drop this course. I am willing to work with you. It is my job. I want to help you understand the concepts that make our weather. Don't just say you can't and drop. You can. As long as you put your mind to it, you can. Dedicate yourself to your education, not just your major, but your education.